I wanted to talk about was Bill Siegfried died. Bill Siegfried is Sister Margaret Mary's brother. He died on July 2nd, 1966. And I'll read the obituary. There isn't much to it. William E. Siegfried, 54, of 920 Troy Place, which was their family home, died in Mercy Hospital Saturday following brief illness. He was a bricklayer for the Ruddock Construction Company and is a member of St. John's Catholic Church. He was a veteran of World War II, where he took part in the South Pacific Campaign. Supervisors include his mother and Mrs. Clotilda C. Siegfried of the home, two brothers and two sisters. One of his brothers, Reverend Paul B. Siegfried, S.J., will offer Requiem High Mass Wednesday at 10 a.m. in St. John's Church. Burial in Church Cemetery. Colors at Waverly Funeral Home, Tuesday. Sister, do you want to say anything about that?
Just that it doesn't really say the year on this, what I see up here, but that's all right. I know it was 1966. That's a very concise write up there. Was that on his memorial card?
Yes, that's a photograph of his memorial card. That's right.
Can you tell us anything more about your brother, sister? What do you remember about him growing up?
I know he was a smoker. He smoked camel cigarettes, and he loved baseball. Well, really all sports. He liked it. We had him on the radio most of those years, and he liked to read. I know that he read magazines like America and Was There Liberty? Yeah, he read those magazines, and he'd leave them under his bed. I know I used to do the dusting and sweeping, and I'd always have to clean up these magazines under his bed. And he was a very quiet man. He had a girlfriend, a beautiful girl. I never saw her, but I heard her voice on the phone, and she became very ill and had passed away, and he never got over that. He didn't get any other girlfriend. He never married anybody else. He was kind of a loner as I could see. Nobody came to be with him, like his friends or anything. But he did have a car of his own. He didn't drive my mother or me any place, but she had to get a ride every place that she wanted to go. And Mrs. O'Neill used to pick her up on her way. And Bill, God bless you, Bill. You were only sick about 2 weeks, and I know I got to the hospital, and my brother Clem's daughter, Kathleen, was a nurse at St. Mercy Hospital in that time. And I remember her telling me, give him a hug. He was in the bed there. And he said, he's dying. I think she's dying. And that's what I did get home. I don't know how I got there, but I do remember visiting him as he was dying.
Very sad.
Yeah.
So how long was he in the hospital? It appears like he died in the hospital. So he was admitted to the hospital?
Yes, he was admitted, and not very long, Chuck. He wasn't there, but he died in the hospital.
But but for some reason,
yeah, he must have been ill. Never told anybody, and he had this lump on his shoulder, and it turned out to be Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh wow!
So, so maybe he didn't know it himself. Maybe
He
he,
didn't know. My mother said he walked to the hospital by himself and registered him himself in the hospital. And Kathleen was happened to be on duty. That's what she told me, that he was dying, that I should go and give him a hug. I just stood
oh,
there, kind of aloof.
it must have been very tragic in your life too, to have to go to the hospital and say goodbye to him.
That's what I did.
Yeah. All right, that's sad.
Is that enough,
Oh,
Cindy?
yep,
That's all I remember. Okay,
okay.
Cindy. Uh-huh.
Cindy, do you have any follow-up questions on any of that? Maybe
No, I
she,
think that was a good remembrance of him, sister. I mean, honesty is always just the best. So just
I
what you're
know he was a bricklayer, and he always had real uh, soiled clothes when he came home. My mother would every day would pack a lunch box. It was one of these metal boxes, and he'd walk through the living room into the kitchen and put it in the pantry there. I remember seeing.
okay.
So what did mom do anything with him that you remember?
No, not that I remember. He went to McKinley High School, so he wasn't in the same school with her. And
But he helped dad build the house, right?
he helped with the electricity and the plumbing and the bricklaying. Yes, he
I
did.
actually, I
He,
actually remember helping myself with Bill and Dad with the bricklaying, and they may give me a pail to carry around or something. So
uh-huh,
I mean, it's funny. It sticks with me. And the other thing I do remember is Dad smoked Camel cigarettes too.
Huh.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
he smoked Camels. I mean, those were powerful cigarettes.
I think
Uh,
a
Yes.
lot of people did back then. They didn't know any better.
Yep.
well, if he was a bricklayer too, he probably was exposed to some toxic chemicals too. All right, well, we won't now, but let's point of this is just to remember him. Okay, that's what we're doing here.
Right.
Uh, all right, let's move from there. I just put pictures of reminders of things to talk about here. You visited Brady Bar and Charla, and looks like Cindy's in that picture too. On July 4th, 2014. You want to talk about that? Looks like you're looking at some of the photographs there.
That's the book that I wrote for A is for Ant is the name of it.
Oh.
I gave it to Brady.
That looks like maybe
That was the weekend that Charlotte and Doug got married. So that's 10 years
Aw.
ago. They have a 10-year anniversary.
they got
Oh.
married on July the 4th.
I think it might have been the day before. It was definitely that weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I know no, I did not go to their wedding.
It
Did
was
you?
very small.
Oh, okay. Were you at the wedding?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice that you were at the wedding.
Sister
So
was at the wedding, right, sister? Sister,
Uh,
remember
I
going
don't,
to
I don't
Carl and
remember.
Doug's wedding?
I don't remember that. No, I
I,
don't.
I wasn't there, was I?
No,
What year was it?
it was 2014 in July. It was
No,
about the same time that picture was taken.
the
And
picture the picture taken
I know
was
you were at the restaurant, sister, with us.
Cindy. The
Um,
picture was taken on 2014. Their wedding anniversary was or they got married on 2004, right? Is that what you're saying?
No,
No, 10 years ago.
no, that was the weekend that they got married, Doug and Charla.
Well, they
Was
wouldn't
it,
have, they wouldn't
was
have
it
had
in
a
the,
baby. I'm getting confused. Brady is in that picture.
That's true.
They didn't get married that weekend and had a
Yeah.
baby. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, so they got married and then had the baby.
No,
Give me the sequence. They got married on July the 3rd, 2014, and this is July 4th, 2014, and it looks like you're holding Brady.
that's true.
Oh, so they had Brady before they got married.
That's true.
All right. Oh, see, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I'm not holding judgment against anybody.
No, we can't judge anybody.
Right. All right. Anybody else want to say anything else about that?
Is the picture supposed to be up there? I
Oh,
didn't see.
you can't see the picture?
On the far
No.
left.
Let's see if I can, whiteboard, I can move things around. Does that help?
I can see
I
it.
do
fine.
remember.
Oh,
I
a
do.
lot of hair.
The book, it's a coloring book. Before I did the Weimaraner coloring book, I did a book that was called A is for Aunt and B is for Brady, and I forget all the things. And I also made a special edition for you, right, Linda?
That's right. Yeah.
That you
Thank
give
you. Yeah, oh
Elena.
yeah, of course, we still have that. And Elena's got her copy as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
There's-
nice.
There's Barb and Charlotte and Brady.
Oh, he's got so much hair for a little baby.
Yeah, he was just little.
That's
All
cute.
right.
Yeah, my kids are always bald. The grandkids are all bald. I mean, my
So
kids
this
never have any hair.
whiteboard does work out pretty well. Let's see, there's another
Oh,
picture in
those
there.
are nice pictures.
So I showed that one. This is just Charlotte and Brady.
Yep. I love those pictures. They're very nice.
Okay. Okay, so that was July the 4th. I think you spent the whole weekend. Some of the pictures were July the 1st, and then some of them were July the 4th. But yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm going to if nobody else wants to say anything more about that, let me how do I X out of this? Let me just move them to the side.
Aw.
I'm gonna move them to the side. Okay. All right, this is let me just blow this one up. This is your 71st reunion. We talked last
Wow.
week, we talked about your 70th reunion. And I started to go through and figure out, this was your 71st was in June 30th, 2013. And then your 70th was June 2012. So you're missing a few people. I know a couple people died in 2012. I'm not sure, but there were more there than at your 70th reunion. So your class is starting to dwindle. I guess that's all I'm trying to point out there, but everybody in that picture looks pretty good. Sister, do you want to say anything about your
I
classmate?
know, no, Jack, I don't, I know we had anniversaries, but I don't remember,
Okay,
separate years and that.
all right.
I know I had to try to get a ride to a lot of them.
Okay. This is,
No, I don't know. I
this
don't need to talk about
you
it.
got this is our cousin, Joyce Rothermel. That would be her right there. Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be Joyce Rothermel. apparently has been staying in touch with Sister Margaret Mary because she sent these pictures. This is her entire family right here. They had a reunion in June of 2022.
Anne would probably be interested in seeing that.
Yeah,
sometime.
she would be. Well, these whiteboards are saved, right? So I save it. So if we ever need to go back and revisit it, we can. I'm just doing it this way. So this would be Joyce Rothermel. No, I didn't know her, but I did know her genealogical because I went back and found out what happened. I think she used to be a nun, right? She was a retired nun. That's
Yeah,
one.
she was
Well,
in
not
my
retired. She resigned, I guess.
she was in my community. She was a teacher from I don't remember how many years, but she did teach. And then she got left us. The story I heard, and she not from her, but I don't know exactly why she left. But they said we as a community were not moving fast enough in the social, you know, um, just social justice and racism. We were doing enough fast enough in our community. We didn't even have a committee of working on that at the time. We were mostly teachers or nurses, and that's what we did. We taught school and were nurses, and so that's the idea. That's the story I heard. I never really asked her why she left, but she got married to this other man who was a very active pacifist, and they started to go to the Thomas Merton Center in Pittsburgh and everything like that. They traveled the world and to Brazil, South America, working as against wars and for justice and all that. So I was not part of her ministry or that, but she still is. They still go on mission trips and
Okay, that's her husband that's sitting next to her there, right? That's a kind of a blow up. They're in the big picture with her extended family. Children, I suppose. How many children did she have?
Wow.
She had a lot.
She didn't, Chuck, she didn't give me any particular names or anything. She just sent me this paper with all the,
Let me
and since you had,
let me look her up real quick here, and I'll tell you what I know about her. That's it. So Joyce Roth would be Rothermel, right?
right,
Roth.
Yeah.
Then her. I'll tell you who what her Roth Joyce. Well, there's a lot of Rothermels in here too. Joyce Marie Rothermel, born in 1945, June 25th. Her parents were Wilson John Rothermel and Hilda Bloom. Yeah, definitely. Um, Anne would really like to hear about them. That's maybe I don't have anything more. All I have is she married. I don't know if they got married. Her partner was Michael Drohan, and they were married in 1990 in Pittsburgh. I don't have anything about her children. Okay, only because she's family, and she's stayed in touch with Sister Margaret Mary. Now, before I move on, go ahead.
they came here to the villa several times to make retreats. Um, they were very active and going around. And I do remember them being interested in our school of nursing. We still had the school of nursing. Some of their friends or relatives were in, and I remember them stopping to say hello to me while they were visiting her. So I do have faint memories of seeing them at the villa, but not anything spectacular happened or anything that I can remember.
Okay.
Wonderful. Sounds like she,
I know.
did a lot of good with her life, so that's good.
Yes, she has spent quite a long time this year in Florida, someplace. Because I know I sent a card for some other purpose to her, and it came back a month later. She never did get it because I didn't know she was in Florida, and I had to resend the whole birthday card. But
Does she live in Florida now?
that's a good question. I don't know if she's back in Pittsburgh or in
Yeah, well, you know what? A lot of people retire to Florida. I know because I'm tracking my classmates, and a lot of them are winding up in Florida.
I don't know
because
for sure, but I know that she had an accident with, I think it was her ankle, and she said one of the messages I received from her said they were going to stay until they healed, so she could help with the driving back. She didn't want to have him have to do all the driving. So to answer your other question, she might have stayed there as long as it took to heal. Now, I don't even know whether she's healed yet or not. I haven't communicated with her since I sent that card that was old.
that's okay. All right.
This year, so anyway, hopefully she's better.
All right. That's all the anniversaries of sorts that I had. Now, I could provide a blank whiteboard for the group if anybody else wants to share anything before we move on. Cindy, did you want to share anything?
No, that's okay.
And Linda, you don't want to share anything either?
I think I'm fine, thank you.
All right, so the next thing on the agenda, and I'm not gonna, it's all text. So I'm not gonna put it on whiteboard. I'm just gonna read it. And this is where sister responds and we get a transcript. Okay, so this will all be verbal and it'll be in my voice, right? Because I'm kind of the spokesperson for Meta AI. The first thing that Meta AI wanted to say is her response to her comment to what Sister Margaret replied to last week's question. I'll just read it.
Excuse me, excuse me, Chuck. What I have to do tonight is answer the question from Monday this week. I don't think we have to go back over all of that.
They haven't heard this yet. Okay, if you don't want to, we'll skip that part.
Yeah, because it'll take a long time and I already read it the last
All right.
Friday.
Can I read the question?
Sure.
So that was good. I mean, it sounds like he wasn't taking care of himself very well. Because he may not have known he had Hodgkin's until they did the autopsy or something, until he went to the hospital. So
That's what my mother told me. She said he never went to the doctors. That was the first time. He must have been desperate. He walked to the hospital. It's not too far, not very far from where we lived.
Was that Mercy Hospital or something else?
Mercy Hospital.
Okay, where's Mercy Hospital is where Connie went to nursing school, but then they don't have that anymore. They just have Timken Mercy Hospital now. It was downtown, I remember mom and I used to take Connie to Mercy Hospital to nursing school.
Right. Right.
He was an alcoholic too, Bill, right? Or not maybe diagnosed alcoholic, but he drank.
That's right. That's true. My mom, you might like to hear this. Her faith was so strong. She had every time I set the table for supper, she'd say, "No, don't forget to put the holy water in Bill's milk." He drank
Oh,
milk every meal, and he never knew because she had it already poured when he'd sit down to the table, and she'd have the holy water already, and her prayers were answered because he had a good he had a confession at the end of his life, and it was,
That's great.
the chaplain at the at Mercy Hospital, the priest
That's
that had
sad he lost
the
his
priest that had
girlfriend.
funeral remarked that he told my mother that he was safe as he went to confession. He was lucky. He was very blessed to have that. Some people don't have as much advantage as a priest at the end of your life, even if it happened to be the priest that one of our sister's brother, Kathleen Coleman's brother, to was called, of course, in that Mercy. We always have chaplains on call, and I'm sure I don't know for sure, but I know that he was safe. The priest told me that he went to mass on Sundays, but he would always stand in the back and not take his place in the pews. I don't know if he thought he wasn't worthy or what it was, but I can always remember Mom saying he went to the last mass every Sunday at 12 noon, but he stood in the back. He didn't kneel down. But I'm sure he had his good intentions, positive.
yeah.
Well, it was good to remember him.
Yeah.